Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got your boy Bert and your other dude, Big L. We are the Dividend Diplomats, and we had to talk to you, the viewers, the investors, about the big dividend news from Pfizer.
That's right, Lanny. But before we dive into the big news from Pfizer, you know the drill. Smash that subscribe button and give us, that thumbs up. We appreciate all your support as we race towards 10,000 subscribers. So everybody, please, every subscription matters, just like every dollar counts on your journey to financial freedom. So we appreciate it. Got Hulk Hogan over there ripping open the shirt over there. Guys, get hyped, get ready. Once we hit 10K, we are doing that WWE themed video. So Lanny, kick us off here. Give us a little background about this video and what we're going to be talking about today.
Now, of course, okay, to provide a little bit of background, Pfizer, which is ticker symbol PFE, what was that, Bert? Was it early 2020, late 2019? There was discussions about this combination slash venture slash spinoff that was going to occur with Pfizer's Upjohn business and their brands and Mylan. And, that actually completed in the fourth quarter of 2020. And the Pfizer shareholders received stock as part of that spinoff into this new company called Viatris, which is ticker symbol VTRS. And some of the big legacy cash flowing, dividend flowing, cash paying brands that Viatris, this new company Viatris, again, these brands are going to know. We're talking the blue pill Viagra. You're talking Lipitor, Dilantin. There's a long list on their site, and I'll show it here a little bit maybe on the screen, of some of these big brands of this new entity that they essentially wanted to consolidate the brands into one company, as Pfizer's focus maybe isn't that anymore. So it would be better and more synergy within just one company. And Mylan was a great complementary company to do this with the Upjohn business.
Exactly, Lanny. So obviously with spinoffs, there's a huge news for dividend investors. So taking a step back before we talk about some of the numbers here and what we were expecting, if a company is spinning off a portion of its percent of earnings, you can't expect them to continue to maintain and pay that current dividend. So for example, if company A spun off company B and it was 50% of the revenues and 50% of the earnings and 50% of the cash flow, they have to spin off the dividend too. Company A is not going to pay 100% of that dividend if they don't have 100% of the cash flows anymore. Pretty simple, right? So why is that important for Pfizer and Viatris and what we were expecting? Entering into the spinoff, Pfizer was paying a quarterly dividend of 39 cents per share. So thinking through that, we were waiting for what is the news of what is VTRS's first dividend. We were all waiting on the edge of our seat because we were expecting Pfizer's dividend to adjust accordingly when the new dividend of the spun-off company was announced. The news hit. Their first dividend payment was going to be 11 cents per share. So using my example before, Pfizer at 39 cents per share is going to be spinning off, and then the new company is going to be paying 11 cents per share. You would expect a dividend of 28 cents per share for Pfizer. And that was our expectation going into this quarter. But here, Lanny, tell us, see that shock on your face, share the big news of what was announced.
In the words of the Wayans brother in Scary Movie, but wait, there's more. No, but honestly, again, just like the teasers, again, naturally, again, with Pfizer trading at $38.66, already in my head, was preparing myself for a going forward dividend of Pfizer around that 2.75% to 3% dividend yield. But then Pfizer just dropped some amazing news on Thursday, April 22nd. Again, this was a shock to all investors, specifically Pfizer investors and soon to be Pfizer investors. The board actually, as you'll see here on the screen, decided to maintain that 39-cent dividend despite the plan to reduce that dividend with what Viatris was going to do. So no matter what, those shareholders were going to be whole. 28 cents Pfizer, 11 cents Viatris, but now instead, essentially, this is almost like a unlabeled dividend increase for Pfizer shareholders.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was going to describe it, Lanny. Just some shocking, unexpected, massive dividend increase. I don't want to say a special dividend because this isn't a special dividend because we're going to continue to get this dividend going forward. That's what makes this so special. Pfizer isn't just throwing us money once and saying, here's your normal dividend at 28 cents per share. They're just saying, screw it. We're going to maintain that 39-cent per share dividend. And oh, yeah, by the way, that company we spun off, you're also going to get 11 cents per quarter per share for them. Think about that, people. I'm still kind of speechless about it because it was that great of news.
And again, we received a lot of comments about, can you explain what's going on with this Pfizer and Viatris? Because some people kept the Viatris shares. I know I did. I think, Bert, you did as well.
I did.
And some people did sell it just because they didn't want it. But I wanted to explain kind of what it means and what it used to mean and now what it will mean.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it, Lanny, because everything changed just last week with what this transaction means, because I'm happy we held on because this was huge, huge news that thank God we stuck in there for this.
From the old theme song, I hold on. But honestly, I mean, again, this is opening up new doors for Pfizer shareholders, as this could now be a very ripe dividend stock to now buy. It's right back on my dividend stock watch list, as you'll see on my May list.
Yeah, darn straight. It's going to be on mine too. And we're going to especially show you why here when we start breaking down some of the metrics for the two companies.
And again, this also just shows you that I've been preaching it. Bert's been preaching it. The dividend diplomats have been preaching it, brother. That dividend investing and dividend growth is really back here in 2021. I mean, Procter & Gamble giving a 10% plus dividend increase. Costco still sticking to 12% plus. Whirlpool coming out with another banger of a dividend. And now Pfizer, the COVID-19 vaccine winner, as I call it, because everything has just been positive, just says, you know what? Instead of a 28 center going forward, we're keeping that 39 cents. And guess what? They're probably poised and ready come fourth quarter to even increase it beyond 39 cents, brothers.
Could not have said it any better myself, Lanny. I mean, that's what's huge here. Every month we leave awestruck about how dividend increases continue to flow in. April, we talked about how it was going to be one of the best months, and man, oh man, did it deliver. And Pfizer just came in off the top rope out of nowhere and just landed that frog splash on us. It is fantastic.
Exactly. Just like the mailman, Carl Malone, he, delivered it just like the mailman. But honestly, I mean, again, we have to put Pfizer through the dividend stock screener, focused on three quick metrics. One, the price to earnings. Two, the dividend payout ratio, preferably in that perfect ratio that Bert describes so well, between 40 and 60%. That dividend growth history and growth rate. And we're going to also show you what Viatris looks like through what we think is the expected, earnings for Viatris based on what Yahoo analysts are saying, as well as their current stock price. So, Bert, just give it the quick rundown on the three metrics for Pfizer.
Yeah, Pfizer, pretty simple. PE ratio is 11.4. They have a 46% payout ratio. They've increased that dividend for 10 plus years, and now they have a 6% dividend growth rate. That may not even factor in this huge, massive dividend increase in there. I said that's pre this announcement. I'm sure it'll get readjusted afterwards. And then
I don't even know if it will. I don't know if that's how the technical websites will even take it.
Yeah, so there you can quickly see all three check marks right there for Pfizer. Lanny, you want to tell us about Viatris's metrics?
Actually, Bert, I'm going to have you do the honor here on this last bonus metric for Pfizer. What does that yield push them at?
What is their dividend yield? That's a fantastic question, Lanny. Their dividend yield is over 4% to there. So think about that. Passes all three metrics. 4% plus dividend yield for this company. Double the S&P 500 yield by far. Way higher way, way higher than that yield on your high
Well,
yield savings account. I love you, man. But anyway, now Lanny, kicking it back into your court here. Tell us about Viatris.
I love you, Cleveland. So Viatris, really quick, again, analysts somehow on Yahoo right now, they're projecting earnings of Viatris analysts somehow are expecting $3.50 to 52 cents in earnings going forward, which I understand. It's a huge cash cow. It should be a machine. They're going to have a lot of one-time costs. So I'm very curious about that because that PE ratio is below 4 times earnings, which
something seems is low. Something seems a little off with that, but
yeah, I'll say this: expect 350, expect $1. Right now nobody has any real earnings from them. I want to see a 2021 Q1, but I will say this: the company is projected to pay an 11-cent quarterly dividend or 44 cents per year. So even if earnings was $1, that payout ratio is still below 50%. I think they were targeting a 25% payout ratio or at least free cash flow payout. But I will say that I was actually buying over the last couple of weeks, anytime it hit at 13 or below, just to add a little bit more to my Viatris position. Again, the payout ratio is looking pretty low if you actually use analyst expectations. And again, I'm pretty excited. I love a cash cow business, and that's what Viatris currently looks like it could be.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic stuff right there. I mean, again, the metrics look great. Think about those brands. We're talking Lipitor, Viagra, all those other great companies too. I mean, to Landy's point, these aren't just some new drugs that are just getting created and spun up. These are ones with histories that are prescribed all over, that people in the medical offices are prescribing to all of their patients. So there is some history of cash there, whether you see the company's financials or not.
No, right. I mean, guys, again, this is the diplomats talking about 2 dividend stocks. Pfizer's already proven themselves as a dividend growth stock. Mm-hmm. At first, they were kind of falling. I've owned them for a long time. I know Bert's owned them now for a little bit of time. I've owned them for about 11 years. And, my position's very strong with Pfizer, but I was kind of leaning back on them once I knew about, okay, their dividend could be lower, kind of a little bit of that uncertainty, but they just brought back certainty. Not only that, but they're so committed, and they must be doing very well with the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, it's like they've gotten some new source of revenue to help pay from all these vaccines.
Exactly. So, again, Pfizer, you heard it here from Bert and Lanny, a great dividend stock to add to your watch list, one to consider it a stock to buy right now at over a 4% yield, below 12 price to earnings, a perfect dividend payout ratio.
And I would argue both these companies are stocks to buy right now, and both of them should earn a spot on your watch list, especially because it is so hard to find stocks to buy in this overvalued market where the S&P's PE ratio is over 40x. So again, exactly. 2 great options here to consider.
And again, you have cash sitting on the sidelines, earning your 0.5%, 0.4%. Here is pretty viable and stable business models that'll yield you at least 3%, because I believe that's what Viatris is looking at right now at current prices with the current dividend payout ratio. Pfizer, a proven company with over a 4% yield. Again, it's about putting your money to work, and you could put your money to work on these 2 companies. But what's your last stance on this?
I mean, I told you my stance. I'm going to be watching them. So tell us, everybody, what your stance is on these 2 companies. Are you watching? Are you buying? Are you as hyped up about Pfizer as we are? Did you do some backflips when you heard the news like I know Lanny did and I did as well? So everyone, please let us know. And if you haven't, subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up on this video. We appreciate it. Again, everybody, thank you for the support over the last year as we continue to grow this YouTube channel.
That was Bert the Hurt and your boy Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.